Audio Jungle.
So good day everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to tackle about chemical reactions and equations. So before we start, chemical reactions are all around of us, from the metabolism of food in our body to how the light we get from the sun is the result of chemical reaction. So before anything else, we need to define what is chemical reactions. So what is chemical reaction? So a process that occurs when two or more molecules interact to form a new product. So these chemical reactions have two components. These are the reactants and the products. So the reactants, it is the compounds that interact to produce new compounds, while the products, it is the newly formed compounds. So, to make it more precise and clear, we have here an example. So, here we have two carbon atoms. Two carbon atoms plus two oxygen atoms will derive to a form of two carbon oxygen. So, as you can see, this part, these are the reactants, while this one is the product. So, these are the compounds that combine together to form a newly formed compounds. So according to law of conservation of mass, atoms are neither created nor destroyed during any chemical reactions. So atoms before the reaction are the same after the reaction. The changes that occur during a reaction just involve the rearrangement of atoms. For example, we have here chemical reactions. We have 4NH3 plus 5O2 denotes by a arrow, which means there is reaction happening, and 4NO plus 6H2O. So as you can see, all of the elements here in the reactant sides are all the same on the product sides. For example, we have 4 nitrogens. As you can see, we have 4 here. And on the product side, we also have 4. So therefore, no atoms are destroyed. However, the only changes occur or happening on the chemical reactions is just the rearrangement of the atoms. For example, we have here the hydrogen. Hydrogen atoms have 3 times 4 times 4 is equivalent to 12. So on the reactant sides, we have 12 hydrogen. While the product side, we also have 12 hydrogen in a way that 2 multiplied by 6 is equals to 12. So therefore, they are all the same. The only changes is that there is a rearrangement of an atoms. So let's proceed. So again, what is chemical equation? Chemical equation is a mathematical statement which symbolizes the product formation from the reactants, while stating condition for which how the reaction has been conducted. For example, we have here A plus B and denotes by a chemical reaction C plus D. So A plus B is the reactants or the ingredients needed in a reaction. So these are reactants. While here, these are the products. Products are the substances formed after the chemical reactions. However, in actual chemical equations, reactants and products are denoted by their chemical formula. To dig deeper and to have a more understanding and comprehension about the topic, let's have a sample test on balancing chemical equations. So first equation, we have Cl2 plus NaI denotes by an arrow, then NaCl plus I2. So what are we going to do first? First, we need to make a tally of the elements from the reactant side and the product side. So we have to list all the elements on the reactant and product side. So here we have chlorine. Then we also have sodium. And we also have iodine. At the same time, we have to write all the elements here. So I have Cl, Na, and iodine. The next thing to do is to count how many atoms present in that element. So in chlorine, we have 2, here 2, and sodium and iodine has only 1. So we have to put 1 and 1. Same at the side, on the other side. We have 1 Na, 1 Cl, and 2 iodine. So after we list all the number of elements in the chemical reactions, we have to balance now. So first things first, we have to balance the chlorine. So as you can see, there are 2 here and there's only 1 here. So what are we going to do? We need to multiply the chlorine on the product side by 2 to make this element balance. So we have to multiply by 2. So 1 multiplied by 2 is equals to 2. Therefore, chlorine now is now balanced for now. So these 2, we need to put this on the equation from where the chlorine originated. So we have, remember that you don't have to put this number in between the equation. You have to put it before the equation. So here, you have to put 2. So, as you can see, chlorine now has 2 atoms. However, it will also affect the element present in that compound. So, sodium now has to be multiplied by 2. So, 1 multiplied by 2 is equals to 2. So, as you can see, chlorine now is now balanced. So, it is balanced for now. However, the sodium now is not. So, we have to multiply the reactant side sodium by 2 again. So now it is balanced. So at the same time, we need to put these 2 before the equation where sodium located. So we have to put 2. Then we have to multiply this number to the number of iodine present. So we have to multiply by 2. Then the chlorine now is balanced. Check. The sodium is now balanced. Check. And the iodine is now balanced. Therefore, the balance equation in this number is Cl2 plus 2NaI, then 2NaCl plus I2. That is how you balance a chemical equation. So let's try another example. Here we have N2 plus H2, then denotes by an arrow, which means a chemical reaction to form a product of NH3. So again, we have to make a tally of the elements present on both sides. So here on the reactant sides, we have nitrogen and we also have hydrogen. The other side, we have to put nitrogen and nitrogen too. So the next thing to do is, again, we need to count how many nitrogen and hydrogen present on both sides. So here we have 2 nitrogens atoms, and here we also have 2 hydrogen atoms. Here we have only 1 nitrogen atoms, and here we have 3 hydrogen atoms. Afterwards, next, we have to first balance the nitrogen. Since nitrogen here have 2 and here are 1, we need to multiply this number by 2 in order to get 2, which means they are now balanced. Then this 2 number, you have to put it directly before the equation which nitrogen can be located. So again, don't have to put the number 2 on the middle, no, and the last, no. So we have to put this number 2 before the compound equation, 2. Since hydrogen is affected because they are compound and combined, we have also to multiply the hydrogen atoms by 2 in order to get a product of 6. So nitrogen balanced for now. While the hydrogen, it has 2 hydrogen atoms here and 6 hydrogen atoms here. Therefore, they are unbalanced. So what are we going to do is to find the x should be multiplied by this to get the product of 6. So 2x is equals to 6. Divide both sides by 2. So therefore, the x is 3. So we have to multiply the hydrogen atoms by 3 to get a product of 6. Therefore, so they have 6 here. So they are balanced. So again, this 3, you should put it before the equation where hydrogen atoms can be located. So we have to put 3 before. Then, here we go. This is the balance equation of the number 2. It is the N2 plus 3H2 denotes by an arrow to form a product of 2NH3.
Audio Jungle.